You're live.
UVA rankings, will Florida colleges and universities secure the top recruits? Developing stories in the NCAA, a surprise guest, and more. Last week, we conducted a roundtable to raise awareness about police brutality and making changes. Given the current state of the country, we felt we had to have a conversation about it. While we're transitioning back to basketball, we hope everyone continues to keep change in their minds and their hearts. Welcome to the JWilly Show. I'm your host, Mark Jerome, and the other gentleman is Jason Williford. Jay, welcome. How was your week?
Good to be back on. Good to be back on, Mark. I'm digging the cut. You look like me a little bit, except you got to get this. You got to get this beard growing.
I had that early on, and it just wasn't working for me.
My wife's begging me to shave.
Yeah,
begging.
I'm kind of on her side. I'm kind of feeling her too.
I'm gonna wait until I see the players in person, then I'll shave.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully find that out soon too.
Yeah.
All right, quick update on the UVA logo. We talked about this story. I believe it was the first week of the JWilly Show. If you haven't heard, UVA is making another change to the logo. The curves on the handles of the saber, which mimic the design of the serpentine walls, are being removed. Athletic director Carla Williams said she was made aware of the negative connotation between the walls and slavery. Have you heard anything about that, Jay?
We got an email this morning about that. Sometimes you got to do what's right. I think obviously this is right in this case. So we're going with that logo. I don't think there was anything wrong with the first logo, but I'll follow my superiors but it looks good. I do like it.
Yeah, I think it's probably growing on people. I think that I'm someone who believes that I want to be sensitive to everyone, right? Especially people who have been oppressed. So
well, and I do think in today's climate, I think it was the right course of action.
Yep. Okay, great. A few more developing stories that we also discussed a few weeks ago. The Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, signed an NIL bill that goes into effect July 2021, stating players in the state of Florida will now be able to profit off their image and name. Does this give Florida schools an advantage to recruiting?
No, because I think there'll be a lot of schools and states to soon follow. So I think obviously it gives them an advantage because they can talk about their plan and how it's going to be implemented and what exactly that's going to look like. Because I still think we're trying to figure out what is all involved in the image and likeness thing here. But I think that's just it's about to happen. It will quickly happen for everybody, and how that looks and what's going to transpire still remains to be seen. I don't know how it's going to look. I do know the haves are going to continue to have, and the have-nots are going to have not.
California is looking at 2022 for passing this bill.
Okay.
And if other states are slow to jump on it.
My gut is California. This will speed everyone else up. I think Florida just beat everybody to the punch.
Yep. All right. More COVID-19 bad news. The University of Houston has suspended voluntary workouts after 6 student athletes tested positive for COVID-19. Clemson had 3 student athletes test positive, 2 football players, 1 basketball player. Any updates for UVA student athletes returning?
As of now, the plan will be for them to, knock on wood, come early July. And there's some protocols in place where they would have to get tested and quarantined before workouts would start. I still, from what I gather, summer school will still all be online, but they'll be able to be here and start the voluntary workouts. There are some concerns that I have I just think it's inevitable that guys are going to test positive, and what happens from there? Do you quarantine everybody that's been in contact? I just, it's unfortunate with football in those places, but I don't see how it doesn't happen when they all get back. And I don't know how you go about having a football preseason and even a football season. For example, if something were to happen in season, you play the week before your first game, you're starting quarterback, you're starting running back, somebody they test positive. Well, then you would have to quarantine everyone that those players have been in contact with. How do you then go play a game? And I don't know. I'm still at a loss for all of that.
And that football roster is quite long.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so you're talking about contact tracing and going back to everyone that they've been in touch with and been around. You'd be forfeiting games if that would happen. I don't. I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions. Those are hard decisions, and I understand the economics, but I'm looking at practical. How does that work in real time, real life, when something is bound to happen? I think it will happen.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. We're with my AAU team, with my EYBL AAU team, we're trying to figure out, because the EYBL season was canceled. So we're
Right.
trying to figure out events, and should we go to events? Should we not go to events that are coming up possibly in August and September? If we do host an event or have an event or go to an event, if coaches can't come, I think the other option is live stream, right?
Well, I've said that. I've talked to a couple of the AAU coaches, and quite honestly, I'm still very uncomfortable, I think, going to an event and them jamming the coaches as they do along the sideline under the basket. Um, I don't know how you would do that and keep social distancing. I'm still trying to figure out, Austin, my 13-year-old, what we're gonna do AAU. Like I'm reluctant to have him travel and play in events. I think they're going to start practicing, and he'll do some individual stuff here soon. But I'm always very cautious. Uh, they call me Big Paranoid. That's my nickname when I was in college, Big Noid. So I'm probably on the other end of the spectrum. I know there are a lot of folks that want to get everything going and back as quick. I'm very, very cautious. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. There's some older coaches out there who are right in that age range.
Yeah,
Hamilton, Larinaga, Krzyzewski in the ACC,
yeah,
Boeheim,
yeah.
right? I
I mean,
mean,
you got some, the guys, Hamilton and Leonard, Roy, all of those guys. I mean, they're in that high risk category. Just from an eight now. Leonard Hamilton looks like he's 40, but those guys, they're in that high risk category. So, you talk about going to events. You talk about football. I mean, a lot of football coaches are older, and
yeah,
I wouldn't want to be Carla or President Ryan. That's for sure.
yeah, that'd be a tough call. All right, let's talk basketball, NBA basketball. Are you looking forward to July 31st?
I am. I've heard Kyrie and Dwight and their take, and I think I am. I think easier for pros than for colleges to quarantine, isolate themselves, just make it a smaller group that they're around. Obviously they're going to go to Orlando, and you're in the hotel, you're with the coaches, you're kind of you're in a smaller group. You don't have to worry about them, coming and going. And it's harder for the college kids because, they're those kids will leave us and go somewhere and hang out, and you don't know who they're around. So for the pros, I think it's easier to do, and I'm looking forward to them playing. But I just wouldn't want anything to happen to anybody. That's my biggest concern and fear. And I know the economics. I know you want entertainment, but I just want to be really smart. So I know they've got big time testing. They've got all of those capabilities that they can do right by those guys. And for the most part, it sounds like the majority of those guys want to be back out there. So that's a good thing.
I think you have 4 former UVA players playing in July and August in Disney and Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Florida. I think it's 4, right?
So you help me out. Malcolm's playing.
Mike Scott.
Mike Scott is Joe.
Joe.
And Ty.
And Kyle if he's going to be on the Kings.
And Kyle if he's with Sacramento. Yeah. So
and possibly and maybe Justin.
And that could be 5 guys. I don't think the Hawks aren't playing, correct? Okay.
Yeah. How closely do you follow that?
What was that?
Your guys? How closely do you follow them?
I try to watch games when they're on. I try to see box scores and see what they did. And obviously social media makes it easy. There's always something tweeted about, the who's in the NBA. So you can always follow that. But I try to follow those guys and keep in touch. In fact, Justin FaceTimed me today. He's always FaceTiming me. But I try to keep in touch and update with those guys.
Yeah. Do you suggest to your guys to watch NBA, or do you try to dissuade them from watching the NBA, the college players?
I want guys to watch as much basketball. I don't care what kind of hoops it is. Watch it. Watch the old file footage of the old NBA. Watch just watch, study the game. I'm doing that with my son.
Yeah.
Like, just go watch. Like that documentary that they did on Mike was awesome. So he had no appreciation of that. That
is true. There's no fear of you were being worried about your guys, the college guys, getting the bad habits from the NBA.
No. We get to break them of all of that. So we break them of all their AAU habits. You AAU coaches, we get to break them of those AAU bad habits. We make them play defense. So no, I don't worry about that. Just
time out. We do 30 minutes of defense every practice before we get going.
Yeah, but no, defense isn't one slide, let them go to the rim, see if somebody's back there. You guys try to stay in front, Mark.
All right. My child learned how to play D before he got to UVA.
Hey, listen, we break all of that, so I don't worry about that. I want them to know the game. I think the more you watch, the more you study it, you pick up stuff, you get better feel, your IQ becomes better. So I think that's good.
All right, let's talk about UVA and the rankings. I know what you're probably going to tell me, that you don't look at them.
I got no clue what we're ranked. How can we be ranked, Mark?
I know preseason, early predictions, right?
Oh my God.
UVA is ranked 4th, right? By expert Joe Lunardi, who just recently released an article. I think it was yesterday or today.
Are you really showing me? You're showing me a bracket in June?
We're on top of it.
Okay.
We are. But it could be an indication of how good UVA is going to be.
Maybe. Who knows?
The experts pick it, right? They're right quite often, right? And based on incoming players, based on current players, and based on coaching, right?
I guess so. But I want to say these same guys had us top 5 at the beginning of last year. We weren't close to being a top 5 team at the beginning of the year. That was way off. So I don't listen. If the season goes on without a hitch, and this is March, and that one is up there in March, then good on them. But right now, I don't. That makes no sense.
Would you prefer to be under the radar and not be ranked, or be ranked really low and out of the top 25, or does it matter?
I don't think.
Would you want to be the hunted and be ranked 1 or 2 or 3?
You know what? I don't think it matters now. If you'd have asked me this, early on when I first got here, I would have said, let's be the underdog and let's show them and prove them. You know, let's prove them wrong and let's earn it. But I think now I've got to the point where, you know what, I like being ranked. I like those expectations. I like when we're positioned with some of the big boys, because I think we're now a big boy, and I don't mind that.
How about when you were a player?
It didn't matter. Like as a player, you fed off of no respect, right? So as a player, that fueled you. But then when you were ranked, you poked your chest out like, yeah, this is where we're supposed to be. So much for the humility that Tony likes to preach. But you know, the JWilly that was a player, yeah, we embraced it all.
Yeah, and talked a little trash while doing it.
We talked a lot of trash. But we and I think I do more than anybody else on the staff. I think my expectations of what I want Virginia basketball to be and look like, I expect us to be ranked, and I expect us to be right there and contending every year. Like this is where we belong.
Right, and it probably helps with recruiting too, right? If you're ranked in the top 5, people are going to say, "I want to go to that top 5 school."
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Segue.
funny. It's funny. I was on a call with a coach, and is an AAU coach, and I'm saying, what do we got to do? What are we doing right? Are we, what else can we do to get this kid? And are we doing all the right stuff? And he said, JWilly, you guys are big boys. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're big boys.
It was only a year ago when we won the national
No,
championship.
so yeah, so Tony's got me, in that humble, modest, play low key, and this coach had to remind me, hey, last time I looked, you guys were reigning national champs, and you're big boys. So just keep doing and being a big boy. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna be a big boy.
What a difference a few years can make when you're playing and talking trash to now be coaching and being humble.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I still talk a lot of trash though. I can go both ways with it, Mark. I can talk trash, and when I need to be humble, I can be humble.
All right. Speaking of talking trash, right? Before we get to the recruiting questions, what recent players on the team talk trash?
Recent?
Yeah. Were there any? Ty had a reputation of talking trash.
I talk more trash than anybody I think we've ever recruited or had in my 11 years. Ty talked trash.
In practice, not in games.
It didn't matter. If they talked to him, he talked. So in games and practice, Ty was a trash talker. Akil Mitchell would talk trash. Akil just liked to talk. Akil's very confident in who he is in his game. But you know what? To be honest, Justin Anderson.
I was going to ask you if Justin talked trash.
Justin would occasionally talk trash, definitely talk trash in practice. But I might be the biggest trash talker in practice because I talk, especially to the starting group, I talk trash to them. Like the Green Machine's gonna kick their ass today. I'm any of the guys, that don't start, I'm like, all right, you gotta go at him today. And so I started, and Ty would always finish it. Like he would always, what you got now, JWilly? Shut up, JWilly. Like who's next? Who's next? He would always talk that. So
I don't know where you got that from.
But most of those guys didn't talk a lot of trash. It was, only a handful, if that.
Right. So now recruiting, typically, what's a typical Monday for you like? Today is much different. Today is a very special.
Today's a crazy day.
Right, but Mondays typically, normally.
Wake up, do my workout in the morning. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my workout. I do my home workout. I do my gym routine. I've got some free weights, and I'm doing that. And by the way, I'm down 30 pounds, everybody. I got 10 more to go.
Congratulations. That's big.
Yeah, and so I started off there and just some phone calls and shoot out a few texts and follow up with some emails, watch maybe a little video of some kids, and then I typically go out in the driveway and make sure my oldest is getting a few shots up, and I rebound for him. But being home now, cooking, I feel like I'm cooking and eating all the time. So I'm trying to cook lunch for those guys, breakfast, lunch. My wife will help out with dinner occasionally. But that's a typical day now.
Right. Well, down 30, you must be cooking very healthy meals.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of veggies, a lot of fruit. A few carbs on Tuesday, Thursday are days I do a hard bike workout, so I carb load those days. But then we have our typical team Zoom on Mondays. We didn't do one this Monday. Obviously, this is a different Monday.
This is a special Monday. June 15th is very special and very exciting for recruits and parents of the recruits, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that is like the most exciting day until you get to college. Or until you make a decision.
This day, so it's funny, Tone and I are going back and forth. I'm like, Tone, we still got to get 21s, man. We got 3, we got nobody committed. Like Ty and them made it a little easier. Some of those guys committed early. We kind of, we were good. We got nobody in 21, and we got this huge list of 22s that we're trying to call and text. And so I've been, started at midnight. So you send texts out to the kids at midnight. My phone is dinging like crazy from midnight to about 1:45. I set it up so that I could text all the kids and say that I would call them later. But I don't want to be the coach that calls at midnight. What are you going to talk to a kid about at midnight?
I'm telling you, I remember the exact time and day when midnight struck on June 15th, Ty's sophomore year. It's finishing his sophomore year. We were driving back from my aunt's house, and all the coaches had my number. They didn't have it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Put my number down. So I'm getting all these calls and text messages at midnight, and I'm just going crazy. It was so exciting.
Mark, so the thing is binging. Coach, thanks. Can't wait to talk to you. So then this morning I get up, and I'll admit my first text, my first call this morning, call and text, was not to a 22. I need to get a 21. So I made sure I told a 21, I said, listen, you know what today is, but you're my priority. So that was today for that kid. And then at 22, I've just been calling kids and letting them know we're interested and talking to parents. And I think for them, it's a marathon. That's what I try to get across. It's not a sprint. This is the beginning. Get to know us. We'll get to know you. And so it's been fun, but I'm doing it. Tone's doing it. Coach O's doing it.
Yeah. But this is now their into their sophomore year. Right. Some of the kids have been contacted the 8th and maybe 9th grade year, right?
Oh yeah.
But not officially.
Yeah. So this is where we can actually text and call. They could have always called us. So anytime, like the kid could call you. You've been talking to a few of these kids anyway prior to today. But there are a lot of kids that this will be the first time they hear from us. So I think it's pretty exciting for them.
So exciting. How many people did you reach out to?
Oh, just today?
Yep. On June 15th.
Through texting, probably.
Texting and calls, either one.
Yeah, probably about 35. That's a lot.
That's a lot for 22s. Yeah.
Well, and so, but probably of that, that's more text than calls. Probably about 7 or 8 calls today, and then I'll keep doing that the rest of the week. Just trying to go down my list of guys who I've seen.
Do you prioritize and categorize your list So like
Yeah,
for
so
point guards and two guards and threes and fours and fives.
oh yeah, so
You know,
we
1, 2, 5 or whatever.
yeah, we break it down by position, but then I you know, my priority is guys I've seen with my own eyes, not just film, but that I've actually seen play. So I've got a point of reference. I can talk to them and you know, talk talk knowledgeable about their game to both their parents and the kid. And then there are other kids that I've seen on film that I haven't seen in person. And so I'll those guys I'll follow up with as I continue to go down the list.
Yeah. All right. So again, incredibly exciting day for parents and kids.
Oh yeah.
So excited for all the kids that got a call or a text from UVA.
Oh, it's
Like,
all over social media. All you gotta do is go on Twitter. It's on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I still remember, I think the first phone call I got was from an actual call, I think was from Creighton, I wanted to say, but maybe not, or Stony Brook, one of those schools.
It wasn't my boy at GW. I figured he'd be the first to call.
Ooh, he did call early.
Yeah,
Did. My man Haj, you talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hodge.
Haj, yeah.
Yeah.
Haj called. He did. It was texting. It was on Ty a lot. As a matter of fact, he called Ty tiebreaker because Ty hit a couple of shots at AAU that won some games and broke some ties. All right. We are waiting for our surprise guest who is calling in any second. Any ideas?
No clue.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Let's see.
You know him well. You played with him.
Uh-oh. Doug Fresh. Has to be. We need a picture though, Fresh. Where are you?
There he is.
Has to be.
Dougie Fresh.
Has to be, guys.
Welcome.
Will. Yo,
Hey,
I made it. I made it to the JWilly show. I've been begging him, man.
Where's the hair, Fresh?
Me, you know I keep it like this. By the way, you guys keep talking about JWilly down, looking great, by the way, looking healthy, the beard, the head looks like it shrunk. How about my man Mark Jerome, MJ?
How about that?
He's looking
Had to do it.
good, dude.
It's a good look.
My boys and my family were killing me. My sister was giving it to me. Talking about
did you go to a barbershop?
Nope.
You did it yourself?
And cut.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good, man.
And
Oh,
cut. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good thing they wouldn't charge me for the amount of hair I had.
Hey, Mark, I do want to say, man, it was good that we did what we did last week. I thought it was on point, timely, and then we had my girl Jenny Busek on, who
all-star.
Fresh said, make sure you tell Jenny I said hello. I said, Fresh, I can't squeeze you in on this one, man. I'm sorry.
Come on, B. It's been I haven't talked to Jen in like 20 years, man.
I said the same thing, Fresh.
Isn't that crazy?
When I saw her, I was shocked she was on, and I appreciated her words, but it was easily since '96.
Right, same.
Is the last time I've seen her.
Yeah, we had a nice panel. Wally Walker.
Yeah.
You guys had all-stars on the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Dougie, what do you have for JWilly?
Man, I'm gonna be disappointing, Jay, because I'm probably by far the funniest dude that's come on yet. But you know, I get it. You're in a different position now, the whole thing. But you guys are talking about the pillars again. And I've gotten lucky enough to know a bunch of the kids that you coached and you're as a coach.
Yeah.
And I make fun of them, man. They're all such good dudes. Like,
you think they're square, Fresh. You don't think they have a good time at all.
But Jay, I'm on there. I'm, talking the way I talk, trying to talk trash with them or whatever. And yes, sir. No, we like to play defense. Yes, I enjoy hard hedging. I'm like, come on, man. Nobody want to hedge 50 feet away from the basket.
Anti-offense defense club, Fresh.
So here's my question. I always bring it back to us because that's my guys, my time, and everything. As much as we're proud as we are of you. And which pillar would our team have had the most trouble with? Because we were not going to be able to handle 5 pillars. Definitely not your class.
Which humility, easily.
How about, I have another one too. Humility for sure, across the board. That's,
no doubt.
Servitude was going to be real tricky, Jay.
Servanthood?
Oh, whatever it is, servanthood. My bad. I mean, to really maintain it. You know what I mean?
So I would say those two, humility definitely won, but yeah, servanthood would have been hard because Junior wasn't serving anybody. He was shooting the ball every time. He could care less
Yep.
about screening for you, any of that.
And when you punt a basketball into the upper deck during practice, I'm not going to get it. Is that what we're supposed to do? Like, yo, go get JWilly's ball up there.
Hey, that's a long time ago, Fresh. That's a long time. I've come a long way.
But I don't even care about that, Jay. The foot was real. Like that, you put that. I can't say the word. You put that thing way up there.
You know, on the podcast, we got the Dougie curse bell.
Yeah, I was about to bring
How
it
about
too.
curse on the YouTube show?
I was about to bring it too. I have a question, basketball. So I you're my guy. Love the teams, all into it. Love Tyrone Jerome on the team, all these guys. The Purdue play. Ty claims he missed it on accident.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to miss.
So we're down by 2. And you guys, since I've watched, so famous at the end of games. I don't care about that tournament at Miami one year. You guys are running all this crazy action. So long story short, DeAndre's checking in the game at the second free throw.
Yeah.
And I look over and Coach Bennett's talking to him, and you grab Dre, and nobody noticed this except me. You grabbed Dre and you held him up. You didn't let him go to the scorer's table. And I don't know if you were just subconsciously grabbing him, said something to him, or you got to give us something, Jay.
I'm not even sure I remember what I said to him, Fresh. And it could have been. So we were going to try to make the second free throw. It was make it, be down 1, foul, try to extend the game, right?
Right.
And I don't know if it was just Tone decided bring him back, don't let him check in, because maybe he had fouls.
Yeah, he was probably out not to foul, but
right.
You grabbed him. Go back and watch it. I'm sure you've watched it.
I will, but I'll tell you this: Dre didn't have a great game against Purdue. He struggled.
Yeah.
And I think I might have said to him something along, "We need you.
Right.
Be ready." And I don't even know if we started him to start the overtime. I think he came in after maybe a minute in overtime, and it was just probably trying to get him going because he was in a little bit of a funk. And then he made a big play where he drove and finished.
And just walked over. Who was that? Klein trying to guard him?
He bullied somebody to the basket.
Yeah. Oh man,
and that game was so high level.
It was crazy, but it could have been Fresh. I'll go back. He might have had fouls, and we didn't want him to go in and foul. We wanted to keep that lineup in.
The next time you tell the story offline, not on the JWilly, not with the national news, just tell him you were trying to create a decoy, hoping that like some Purdue dude would go over and try to guard Dre. Freed up Mamadi, buckets, let's go.
Hey, but all I know is if Kihei, if we'd have put Dre in, I think we were gonna sub Kihei.
Imagine that.
And imagine him not being over on the floor to chase that thing down. He's the only one that could have got to that.
That's right.
He's the only one that could have got to that.
And you're probably tired of talking about it. I don't get tired of it, but he was so calm on the turnaround, head up. Sorry, Ty. Sorry, Kyle. I got this. And then boom.
He looked them off. Yeah. And I'm saying throw it to one of them dudes. Like they got to get the ball. Like I'm like, who's he throwing it to? And they're like, yes.
I just always want because I'm always watching you in like the Carolina game this year with Thomas.
Yeah.
Tomas made the shot, and I called you after. I was like, Jay, you were so chill on the bench, and everybody else was going crazy. You're like, Fresh, they left too much time on the clock.
Hey, so listen. I do know exactly what happened in that. I remember that. So we call a timeout, right? We got this play ready, and I knew we were gonna get a good look. And so I say to everybody as we get out of the huddle, now they're about to run the play. I say to the staff, I say we're gonna make this shot. Like it was too much time. We had run this play. I knew we were gonna get a good look, and I leaned back, and I'm looking up at Tony, and I'm saying to the entire staff, we're gonna score right here. And when he hit it, it was like, I told you so. You know, it wasn't even like a yeah. It was like,
right. No, you got to front. You got to front a little bit. Like I had it.
I told you so. I told you we were gonna make this. I knew we were gonna get a good look, and he nailed that thing. That was a big time shot.
And people don't realize Kihei made a crazy athletic play. He did almost out of bounds in the air, kind of, and then bouncing it. Yeah, he got the baseline, the whole thing.
The drift, we threw the drift to him. Yep.
The drift. That gets me back to one more thing I got to ask you about. All this new lingo at practice, like the fuck's an elevator screen.
Hey, did you hit the curse jar, Mark? Did you? Hey,
we prepped them too. You have no idea, JWilly. We prepped them. We said, "Come on, you can't." Go to 5 times.
It's my boy, but he owes somebody push-ups or something, right?
I think he might owe tickets.
Okay.
I'll do.
All right.
I'll do 50
he might owe 2 tickets to a game.
But the elevator screen, Fresh. That's to close the gate.
To close the gate, right?
Yeah.
That's. I just think Jay Billis says his stuff on TV, and then y'all just keep say the same thing he says. Trying to listen to them Duke guys. So the current team, I got a question. I'm trying to be up. This is the first time, Jay, after Ty left and Kyle and DeAndre, who I sort of knew. I feel straight up old now watching. Like I'm trying to remember the guys' names. No, stop it, B. Stop it. Older than you. But what was my question?
50? You're 50. You'll be 50 soon.
No, sir. I'll be 50 December. I'm 49 and a half. How's that?
There you go. I told you.
And we talked to your boy Be Nice today, who's 5 days younger than me, so I can always remember his birthday.
I don't think I'm going to that party.
Believe it or not.
I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to the party.
North of 50?
You're up 50 party.
The kids coming in, and I know it's tough. It's tough to ask and it's tough to know before they get on grounds, etc. But the kid Reese Beekman, I got the name right?
Yeah.
Do you see a guy like him being able to, the way Kihei did with Ty, being able to share the responsibilities? Because Kihei takes a lot, man.
Yeah. Who's that, Fresh?
My man Ty.
That's Ty. Ty too. Ty too. So what's up? What's up, Jay?
Daddy, Mommy said.
All right, hold on. I'm coming in a minute. Don't tell me what Mommy said.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll be able to come in and play and give us good minutes. Tony ain't afraid to play two point guards, and so we hope that he can do that. We're anticipating him being able to come in and be on the floor at times with Kihei.
Yeah, that's more the fans. These guys ask the questions. I don't have anything to add, so we got to get it from the horse's mouth. And the last question, Marky, I ask Jay every time. Jason, if your boy Fresh played in 2020, would I even see the floor? That's my only question.
Yes, because you can shoot. Shooting's a premium. You can shoot that thing.
That's all I need. Just keep me. That's all I need to hear, man. Yes.
I'm not going to bring up defense because he's playing. You already said he's playing, so I'm not going to add any other components to it.
I can play the pack. I can play the pack line. I can't guard anybody, but I can play the pack line. How's that?
He had great IQ and feel, and he could shoot. He could play in today's game. Absolutely.
Crazy athletic, all of it, yo.
Yeah, he used to dunk on people and everything. Fresh, good to see you, brother.
Hey, you too, boy. Keep doing it, all right?
You don't want to ask JWilly one more thing? About gear, maybe?
I gave up on that about 7 years ago. Like that's got to be the hardest part of your job, texting your boys back and getting asked for gear all the time.
Yeah, because you know how many boys I got. I got boys everywhere. They all want gear. Not only do my boys, my dad, my sister, you name it. They all want gear.
Yeah, you take care of the right people. You're doing it right. I get it. I can buy my own, or I just ask TW for my gear now. So straight.
Dougie, real quick, who's upcoming on the Locker Room Access podcast?
Oh man, we brought it. We got the blockbuster coming up. JWill, be stiff.
There you go.
Bryant, be nice, be stiff.
The GOAT.
Had him today. The GOAT.
The
The
GOAT.
best. And I was going to ask you a story about Bryant, about how long, how long it took you to figure out how to lock him up in practice that first year.
My first year, Fresh, you remember my first year? That was not fun.
No, not for y'all. It was kind of fun for us.
I had problems guarding that dude, and he was so strong. He was the reason that I tried to attack the weight room more. I never lifted a whole lot before coming to UVA, but guarding that dude, I felt like I had to get in the weight room to get stronger. He was a horse.
I'll tell you who else we did. We did Because of You. We got Richard Morgan last week. That's not aired yet, which he's just energy and he's the best. And, he's doing what you do, coaching. And one I'm really excited about, Tuesday, tomorrow, we're going to have Gus Gerard on.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't know much about Gus Gerard, this is like an ABA legend.
Yeah.
A different era. So I've had a lot of the old school guys on too, trying to match everybody up,
Hey, it's good, Fresh. We're all family, man. It's good to hear those stories. I love the thing you did with JJ. That was awesome.
How good was JJ? How did you? I told these guys, JJ never mentioned once his playing career when he was our coach. You may have known because you coached with him later, but he never talked about me and Ralph and,
No,
I used to do this in this situation. He just coached.
And he was good. He was a tough player too, man.
JJ was nice.
Tough as nails, yeah.
Top three in Kentucky.
It was good that you guys got him on, man. It's good.
No, I get it. Yeah. He said, for us, for his guys, how loyal that dude is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one because it wasn't just there was some controversy and there was a lot of good stuff and some questionable stuff. So I know it was a really good listen.
It was good.
Yeah. Dougie, thanks so much for coming on.
I appreciate it. I've arrived now.
And
yes, sir.
We'll catch up about 5 o'clock tomorrow.
You doing it, Jay? You're a natural, man. You ain't got to coach basketball anymore. Just go get a show, B. You're a natural. Got that smooth DJ voice. Kept it true. All right, love you, boy.
All right.
Our boy Dougie Fresh.
He is a ball of energy.
He is one of a kind.
He's awesome. That's my guy. And he probably knows everybody in New York they all know him. When he first moved up there, he was still hooping. He would hoop all the time at the 92nd Street Y.
Right. He told me. So we have some people in common that hoop there, played ball at 92nd Street Y. Yeah, he's told me a bunch of stories about that. He's hilarious. All right. So basketball coach, TV personality, are you extending your contract as a teacher?
I told you this. No.